what a time to be a Black Clover reader slash fan. To an indefinite hiatus that is apparently going to be spanning for 3 months because Tabata-sensei is setting up the final arc of the story, to some of the biggest controversy I've ever seen from the manga since its serialization, with Chapter 1 to this very day, to just seeing people absolutely show complete disregard for Tabata's health and saying because a chapter's bad, he deserves to be made fun of, etc. I have seen just so much from Black Clover's community and everything for the past few weeks, and it's time to talk about it, especially with what came out today, with the chapter leaks, the spoilers, etc. There's so much to dive into. So, before I go any further, I want to offer a disclaimer. I am not going to dive heavily into the leaks that came out today. Now, I will talk about them, because I don't know the entire chapter, I don't know how the whole chapter is structured, etc., because its early spoilers came out, but I will talk about a certain twist that obviously everybody is like, whoa about, and I'll talk about it later on in this video. But for now, I want to talk about just everything that's been happening in the Black Clover community and let's just get everything on the table. So, the hiatus. Black Clover is entering into its final arc, and Tabata-sensei is legitimately going on a 3-month hiatus to plan out the final arc. And this is not something you normally see. Like, I think all of us that have been reading manga for a long time, in Weekly Shonen Jump, you don't normally see that. When, like, the final saga, the final arc is announced, the mangaka continues to write. It announces it, and you're like, okay, we're in the final arc, and many people have the impression when a final arc is announced, it's going to be a few years until it ends. That's the general impression. Like, you go back to the age of Naruto and Bleach when it was around, when people hear the final arc, you're like, oh, so we got 3-4 more years left of the series. But we're in a day and age now with manga to where when it says there is a final arc, it's going to end very soon, probably in a year. I mean, Dr. Stone, Demon Slayer, My Hero that's potentially supposed to end this year or early next year. You know, Jujutsu Kaisen is apparently in its final stretches. I mean, Chainsaw Man, the way it ended. I mean, there is a lot of series that have just ended so quickly. Manga in Weekly Shonen Jump, it doesn't last that long anymore. Like, I feel like people are thinking of the old manga that used to last for 600 plus chapters. That's not the case in Weekly Shonen Jump anymore. Shonen Jump doesn't really have series last that long, and whatever the case may be about that, it's like, when they say there's a final arc, it's probably going to end within a year, maybe a year and a half at most, which says a lot. And so, now knowing that Black Clover is reaching its conclusion, and My Hero is reaching its conclusion, it's kind of a shocker, because it's like, it's this era's version of Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece in many people's eyes. When they look at Black Clover, when they look at My Hero, and these two, like, represented series are coming to an end very soon. It's shocking. It's a wake-up call to see a series that you think isn't really that old, but has been around for a few years now, since, like, 2015 or whatever. So, just like, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy information. It's sad to see a series you enjoy come to an end, and it sucks that I recently caught up with the manga, like, in the past year, but at the same time, I do respect a series and a writer to end a series and actually end it properly, instead of, like, lengthening it and ruining the actual narrative just for another buck. I know mangaka need to get paid. I know it is a business at the end of the day, and I have nothing wrong with that, but if they want to end their series, and they truly have written their story the way they want, I think they should be able to end it. And I have a lot of respect for writers that do that. Not just for mangaka, but for any writer out there. So, I am looking forward to the final arc of Black Clover, especially with the cliffhanger we have been left on, that really hypes up what the final narrative of the story will actually be about. Now, let's talk about the community. So, the community has been absolutely, okay, I want to make sure I say this quickly. I'm not saying the entire community has been like what I'm going to say, but a large vocal portion of the community has been downright awful to Tabata-sensei. Not just criticizing the manga. Like, we're not talking about people that critique a series, okay? It's okay to critique a story. That is fine. There is nothing wrong with critiquing a story if you have a problem with it. Like, the last few chapters, if we look at Black Clover, I understand why some didn't like the chapters. I mean, people felt like there wasn't a lot of weight. People felt like, there was no repercussions for the struggles. There was no emotional impact, like, nobody really died, etc. I understand the critiques there. I do. I 100% do. Even if I'm not on that side, I understand where people are coming from if they have problems with some of the narrative. However, the thing is that in front of our very faces, for a while, Tabata-sensei has been foreshadowing something, which was revealed in the latest chapter. And like I said, I'm not going to talk about the spoilers yet, but it twists everything on its head and gives all the chapters that we thought were bad, or what people thought were bad, a new meaning. And basically, it makes it, like, blow your freaking mind away. Like, it's insane. Like, the reveals and twist. So, the community took the criticism or the critiquing of the series a bit too far. Like, you have individuals that were just straight up throwing Tabata-sensei's name into the mud. Like, saying, oh, he has fraud allegations and, like, Mickey Mouse or Disney House or whatever. And there was big accounts getting a lot of likes doing this type of stuff. And then they turn around and act like everything is okay when the leaks came out earlier today. And it's disgusting behavior. Like, what's good? There's nothing wrong with critiquing a story. There's nothing wrong with that. You can critique ReZero. Like, that's my favorite series. You could critique it to the end of the earth. It's fine. If there's legitimate critique, do it. That is completely fine. But you should not run a writer's name into the mud like so many people have been doing on social media. And what I saw about that was just so disrespectful. It is so disrespectful when we live in a time to where mangaka are dying from overwork. Kentaro died like a year ago. And people are still doing this disgusting behavior. It's like, seriously. Berserk is a legendary series. Kentaro died writing that series, and people still don't have it in their head to have a little bit more respect to writers. I'm just like, seriously. You can hate a series all you want. Show some respect to the authors, okay? Even if you don't like it, you hate the literature. Show some respect to authors, because they put a lot of time, a lot of passion, a lot of effort, and even if you don't like their work, they still are people. They're not machines. They're not there just to churn out your favorite series, and then if you don't like it, you turn against them and you hate them. Like, I may not like Attack on Titan much anymore, like the manga, but I'm not going to go after Isayama and say, oh, he's the worst writer ever. I'm not saying that. He put a lot of effort, a lot of dedication and time into Attack on Titan, so there's no reason to attack an author. So I think it's really just awful what I've been seeing. Now with that little mini venting / rant out of the way, let's talk about the spoilers that came out and the controversy why people were dragging Tabata-sensei through the mud. So from this point onward, there's going to be spoilers, okay, for the latest stuff of the chapters and the potential upcoming chapter. Now, as clarification, I have not seen the entirety of all the spoilers. So all I know is the twist that happened, basically, towards the end of the upcoming chapter. I don't know the whole thing about it. Like, I don't know the whole synopsis. I just want to clarify that. So there could be some things I exclude or don't properly understand because it's leaks. Okay. With that out of the way, in the latest chapters of Black Clover, there has been obviously a big fight going on against this big, massive powerhouse, this strong entity that has been demolishing our characters. And a few chapters ago, the man literally grabbed a blade like Aizen did in Bleach. And it was just like, holy crap. Like, it was insane. The threat, the magnitude of this enemy that Asta and all of them have been fighting in these past few chapters has been intense. It was some incredible chapters, like in terms of just action sequences and all that, and when we got towards the end of it, they defeated the guy, and pretty much, when they defeat him, there wasn't really any deaths. Yeah, people got injured, etc., but everything ended well. Nobody died. Nobody got really seriously hurt to put him completely out of commission permanently. That was it. And obviously, from that perspective, people would feel like, oh, so, yeah, this big bad, he appears, and then he doesn't kill anyone, and I understand. Like I said, I understand the complaints of that. And so, people were upset with the magnitude of that. However, throughout the chapters, Tabata-sensei was showing this clock multiple times. And this clock was always ticking at a certain time. And every time a chapter came out, there was like a new depiction of the clock, and it was the same time, which basically, gave you the impression that either it was an art error, that Tabata wasn't allowing the time to progress properly, he was just throwing it in there, just copy and pasting, or it was intentional. And obviously a lot of people felt like it was just an art error, and it was just thrown in there as subtle foreshadowing. We get to the spoiler chapter now, and come to find out, all of our characters pretty much died fighting their opponent. They died multiple times, and time was just getting messed with to allow them victory, which just puts in perspective the struggle. There was a struggle. There's a lot of struggle to allow them to win in the end, and it turns everything in on its head. It's really freaking cool, and the person that does this is Julius. And at the end, the spoiler I did see, he is the actual, kind of the villain. He's evil. Julius is evil, and his real name is Lucius. And I'll talk more about that in a second. But the thing is Julius, he has been orchestrating things for a long time, and it makes you look at all of his seeds throughout the entirety of Black Clover very differently. Like, you look at him very different. Like, the elf arc in general, you look at differently now, thanks to this reveal with Julius, with finding out that he was messing with time, etc. It really flips everything in on itself. Now, if we're talking about, Lucius, that was revealed to be his real name, he's one of the main demons. And Lucius in mythology, in some depictions, is the son of Lucifer and Lilith. Lilith is the mother of all demons. Lucifer, I think everybody knows that title, is pretty much another term for Satan, or the devil itself. So, Lucius being the son of the strongest demons, pretty much. It is like, oh, that's really cool. That's really, really cool. So I like how the name is Lucius, and that's his real name, etc. It's a really interesting twist, a really interesting reveal, because it makes you see every line of dialogue with Julius so differently throughout the journey of Black Clover. I really love what Tabata-sensei did, and he left us on a cliffhanger like that. He left us on that cliffhanger, and we don't know what's going to happen potentially for 3 months plus now, which, ballsy. Like, Tabata-sensei ballsy. He literally doesn't elaborate. He's just like, yep, I write chapters, do good artwork, people crap on me, I write a twist that proves that there was a lot going on behind the scenes, like I betrayed my fans' expectations to prove that there actually was something going on, and then he leaves us with this twist, does elaborate, goes on a 3-month hiatus. That's literally what he does. I really respect Tabata-sensei for being so ballsy with that writing. It's very ballsy, and I appreciate what he did. But, alas, all I'm going to say is that Black Clover, the chapters, I really have enjoyed. I don't think they were the best chapters I've ever read, and like I said, I understand the criticism people have been making towards the manga. I understand. I do. But, clearly, Tabata played a long haul, played it risky. He wanted to betray people, like his literal readers, to make them think like, oh, everything's A-okay, and in reality it isn't. I respect that. I really respect that. It's really cool. So, I'm going to wrap up this video here. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, how you felt about these last 2 chapters of Black Clover, how you felt about the spoilers, the reveal of Julius being evil, etc. Let me know. I'm very curious. But with that, guys, be safe, stay healthy, and Tabata-sensei, get the rest you need. I wish you the best. Chibi out.